Ian, you were able to hear the news as we went through, and you focused in a little bit on Herr Schwab. What's your take on that gentleman?
I mean, the guy is obviously extremely well indoctrinated. He is in that role for a reason. And what is remarkable is the number of photographs that are now emerging of him into into the mainstream media. With him clearly dressed up. Um, you know, Life follows drama, or does drama follow life? Because he is literally dressed up as a Hollywood
Super
character.
villain.
As a supervillain, exactly. And the only thing missing is the cat. As soon as I wouldn't be surprised if the cat arrives at some point in the very near future, because Klaus is definitely extracting the proverbial Michael, and you know what? This whole thing could be over in a heartbeat, and that is simply by people removing their masks. The link there is remarkable because of all the things that you guys have discussed, not just today, but of course over the various news programs, all have a link. And of course, what you guys discussed was Extinction Rebellion and the fact that they have now disappeared from the scene because their role is at least for the time being over. But it's estimated that 1.56 billion face masks have been deposited into the rural economy without any global plan to retrieve them. So, this 1.56 billion face masks are clearly an environmental hazard that is conveniently being ignored by the environmental movement, and particularly by those who took great delight in dressing up in red. So what you notice is that basically at the moment it's almost a free run for whichever side grabs the mainstream media first, because they're choosing subjects that the opposition doesn't actually want to have to go and readdress. So right now we're in a period that is a lull, I would say.
Yeah.
And this period of lull is to enable the next battlefront to be established, and that battlefront is with the global banksters, because the real battle in 2021 is going to be against the finance industry. And we're seeing an absolute we're looking for a repeat of what occurred 12 years ago, 11, 12 years ago, in the banks looking to literally destroy the global economy. And they've made a damn good start, of course, in 2020. But now they're going to go for the jugular. And of course, what they're going to go for is the low-hanging fruit. They're going to target all of the, if you like, middle class, lower middle class businessmen who have borrowed over the last 10, 12 years. And they're literally going to rake in all the money that has, and the assets that they believe to be owned by them. But of course, those who have done their research, and what's remarkable is to see the number of people, come onto the scene who clearly have done their research and realize that the banks are little more than the bank of hot air, the bank of nothing, of paper money, fiat, current. So they're going to go for that, and then they're going to go for the supposed assets of the people that have borrowed those companies. So they get the alleged assets and the supposed money borrowed in one fell swoop. So expect to see unemployment in the new year somewhere in the region of 6 to 9 million, and expect to see the number of people in dire straits and desperately seeking the support of universal credit increasing exponentially. And this will not be a pretty scene by any stretch of the imagination. But don't be deceived. The bank from the fight from this point forward is against the banksters, and the focus must be on the banksters. And finally, before I close off, Brian and Mike, I just want to say, what an amazing job you guys have done. It's wonderful to see your viewing audience, stepping up to 25, 30,000 per episode, rising to sort of 50,000 in the space of the next month or so. And I think it's becoming increasingly apparent that UK column news is the place to go for the unadulterated real news.